Our first guest tonight is a Grammy Award-winning hip-hop legend and member of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. His Rock the Bells Festival will take place on Saturday, August 6th at Forest Hill Stadium in Queens, New York. Tickets are on sale now at rockthebells.com. Please welcome to the show, LL Cool J, everybody. Thrilled to have you here.
Yo, what's up? Juliana, that was great. Very cool. ¿Cómo está? ¿Todo bien?
Todo bien.
Bueno.
You're off to a very charming start.
I like that.
So wait, obviously I grew up with you. This is a huge deal to have you here. But also, you've had this incredible second act in your career as an actor. 14 seasons now of NCIS.
Yeah.
Los Angeles.
Yeah. Thank you.
For me, it's impossible to believe people wouldn't know you as a rapper first, but do you get recognized more for the TV show now?
Oh, I get recognized for both, but definitely there are lots of people who only know me from either television, from hosting, from doing different things. And, quite frankly, that's the joy of, some of the things I'm doing. It'll give people an opportunity to see me, when I'm embracing my first love. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, a lot of people know me for a lot of different things, and that's a blessing, right? Like, I'm very thankful for that. And it's been a lot of fun, you know what I'm saying? But music is my first love. And, for those who don't know, I guess we'll just have to kind of show them. You know what I'm saying?
This is an incredible bill you have for Rock the Bells. What was the idea? Did you think that this was an important thing to do?
Yeah, the reason why I did this is because I feel like hip-hop culture isn't disposable. I feel like the same deference and love and respect that the Beatles get and that Paul McCartney gets and Bob Dylan, all those greats get, Madonna, I feel like, the Rakims and the Nas's and the Run DMCs and those artists also deserve that kind of deference. So when we put this bill together, myself, Ice Cube, Rick Ross, Dipset, Jadakiss, what I wanted to do is say, hey, these kings and queens deserve to be elevated. We need to celebrate this culture, and somebody has to do it. There's nothing wrong with, serving things in a brown bag. That can be good, but sometimes we want a silver platter.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that's what this is.
This must have been quite an honor. There's a statue of you in Corona Park now, where you grew up. I gotta say, it's an outstanding. The front of it is really something to see. You?
Sherwin the artist did it. It's astounding. To me, like, this is more about the culture than it is me, though.
Yeah.
The reality is that, I was blessed to be a part of something bigger than me, which is hip-hop culture. And and I was a Generation 1 fan, a Generation 1.5 artist, right? So I was the first artist, first generation to grow up on hip-hop, but then as an artist, I was like 1.5, and what it's done is changed the lives of people all over the world. And it's been the underpinnings of American pop culture for many years. It's going to be 50 years old next year. So hip-hop has really been amazing to me. And that's just a testament to how deeply it's penetrated our culture. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really take that to heart, like, I've got a statue. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
It doesn't look like that kind of statue, I will say.
You know what I mean?
If you were on a horse or something. It's amazing. I will say, so Mama Said Knock You Out, right? That's like only 5 years after your first album.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
it seemed weird that at like only 5 years you were already mad at people that they were calling it a comeback.
Yeah, well, you know what? You hit on an important point. Hip-hop is such a young genre that, for the most part, it's so young that a lot of people expect artists to come and go, and come and go, and come and go. Oh, here today, gone tomorrow. They're not used to Santana. Like, we haven't had our Santana moment in hip-hop yet. There are a lot of firsts that haven't happened in hip-hop yet. So that's just part of the growing pains of a young genre, but that's when you require leadership, right? When you have those holes, when you have that vacuum. That's why I stepped in and said, you know what? It looks like it's getting a little off the rails, and we're getting to a point where we're about to be commoditized. I love the younger generation. There's no problems with it. I'm not one of those guys who doesn't appreciate new art. I love all art from all generations. I do think, though, there is room for the roots of a culture to be celebrated and lifted up so that younger and newer generations understand where it comes from so that they can really embrace the craft in a great way. You know
Well,
what I'm saying?
the other thing I will say, so true. I do feel like the younger generation of artists, you can hear the previous generation in the songs, right? I feel like there's a lot of students of the genre who are making the music, but I sometimes think the people who listen to it don't realize, like, oh, that's from that and that's from
true.
that.
That's true.
It must have been cool. You were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That must have been a nice moment to be like, hey, look, they're finally coming around that this is a really important piece of music
I mean,
as
it
well.
was an amazing feeling. I mean, I'm looking out in the crowd and I'm performing, and I say, yo, that's Paul McCartney there with his phone out. You know what I mean? And I'm rocking like, look at Paul, he got his phone out. This is crazy. Like, I really was thinking that in my mind. Like, I'm giving you some real insight right now. Yo, that's Paul McCartney with his phone out. Like, I'm really bugging out off of that, right?
Yeah.
It was amazing. It's an amazing feeling. You know, I finally got in. It was a beautiful feeling.
Did you choose who got to induct you? Was that a
Oh, yeah,
choice you
yeah,
made?
yeah. I personally asked Dr. Dre to induct me. He's one of my, best friends in music. Absolutely, absolutely. And I asked J-Lo and Eminem to join me and perform. And, it was an amazing feeling to just be up there and to be embraced by your peers at that level, which is arguably one of the highest levels in music. You know what I'm saying?
It was something to see. As a fan of the genre, you hope like, oh, I hope it's now. The dam's going to break, and we're going to see more and more artists from your generation that were doing that. I think you're right, too. I have a lot more to ask about the festival. We'll be right back with more from LL Cool J.